Hi everybody, Amber with Healthymale, and today I am going to give you a 19-week core workout. It's super important that you keep your core nice and strong. And what I mean by that is anything that's from the center all the way to your lower back and your glutes. You've got to keep this whole area strong, especially while you're pregnant, because we are more prone to back injuries and other kinds of injuries just carrying all the weight in the front of us. So by doing all these balance exercises, by still flexing in your core, even though there's a baby in there, it does work. So follow along with me. I'm going to take you through 10 core exercises. Enjoy. The first exercise we're going to do is going to be a standing pelvic tilt. Now, as you progress along in your pregnancy, you want to make sure that you don't stay on your back for too long. So I've designed this program to where we start on the standing position and we progress to lying down on our back. So we're not on our back the entire time. And we'll be flipping over back to front and side as well. So the first exercise we're going to do is a standing pelvic tilt. It will help if you can find a stable surface to stand against. It will give your pelvis a reference point. So what we want to do is get our heels as close to the wall as possible, or your stable surface, standing up nice and straight. A lot of us tend to have an anterior pelvic tilt, which just means that our tail sort of sticks out a little bit. So by rotating our pelvis forward, flattening our back against the wall or the surface, and then relaxing, it is flexing in that pelvic wall down there, and it's helping keep that baby nice and tight and snug, as well as keeping you tight for after you give birth. Good. We're going to do 15 here. And some of you might not be able to fully flatten out your back and get that space all the way gone. I know I can't. This is definitely something that takes practice. Good. And taking your time, you might even feel a stretch as you are tilting your pelvis forward because it's straightening out your spine. We're making sure that both our toes are pointing forward. Our feet are fairly close together. You'll almost feel as if you're flexing in the baby a little bit. 2 more here. Breathing is still important, even though this might not feel like a major exercise. 15. Now we're going to move into a standing wall crunch. Since we're obviously not going to be doing crunches or sit-ups from the ground, we can still flex a little bit in our core as we're standing. Who doesn't need to go into a bent position and come back up? All of us moms, once we have kids, we're going to be in a bent forward position quite often. So it's important that we work ourselves back up into that standing up straight position. Use the wall as a reference. Roll down vertebrae by vertebrae until you feel a flex and come back up. Remember, this is not to get an 8-pack. This is just to keep you strong, help your birth go by a little bit easier, and to help your recovery on the other end. Let's go 3 more. I lost count because I was talking, but make sure you do 15 of these. Beautiful. Now we're going to step away from the wall or that solid surface, and we're going to move into just a stationary plank. And we've done a lot of these in the workouts because they're so good for your whole abdominal loop. And so we're going to go down into push-up position is a more advanced. From our elbows is a little bit easier, and it's a lot less pressure on our wrists. But the advanced plank or the regular plank, we're going to push-up position, our chin is lifted, our shoulders are over our wrists, and we're holding that belly button in, holding that baby in nice and snug against the spine. We're going to hold it here for 15 seconds since everything is a 15 count. And this might not seem like very long. Very good. 15 seconds. Now we're going to come down and we're going to transition into a bird dog. So once again, we're working our front and our back in these positions. We're on our hands and our knees. Our shoulders are over our hands or over our wrists, and our hips are over our knees, so our knees are hip width apart. We're going to inhale, raise the arm and the leg up, squeeze and flex. We don't want to lift the hip up, just raise the leg up as high as it will go with comfortably stabilizing in your core and flexing, and then switch. We don't want to rush through the exercise, so we're going to be here for a while. We want to do 30 of these. Keep your breathing steady. Pausing at the top. Lengthening that spine and the back of the body. Beautiful. 15 on each side, bird dog. Now we're going to move into a full plank, and we're going to do it around the world. So we are going to release each limb off of the ground one at a time. So from here, you want to be careful that you're comfortable in this position. Otherwise, let's drop down into a bridge. So from here, you're going to release, 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 release. Make sure you breathe it out throughout. And 30. Nice job. And those are plank or bridge around the world. Whew. Now we are going to move into a side plank. This will be just a stationary side plank. I'm going to show you a modified plank because we also want to make sure that we don't fall at all during our little routine, and we don't want to hurt the belly. So, with our knees bent and stacked, our shoulder is over our elbow, we're going to simply raise our hips up. Holding it stationary, 15 count. You can also raise your other arm up straight. Raise your energies to the sky. Seconds here. 3, 2, time, and switch sides. Remember, we can't really work our obliques in any kind of twisting motion, so we can do it in static side holds. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. 3, 2, 1, and time. Very good. Now we are going to transition from our side plank into a laying down position. And once again, working the core, we're going to bring our knees in front of us, or our obliques, excuse me. We're going to bring our knees in front of us, and from right here, we are going to raise our legs up. Start out with 8 to 10, and if it still seems okay and it's not uncomfortable, then proceed to 15. You can use the other hand in front of you to anchor you so you make sure you don't roll forward on that hip. Nice job. 15 on one side, 15 on the other. Make sure you're pushing off to the side as you get up. You never want to shoot straight up when you're pregnant. My knees are coming apart a little bit. That's okay. And you don't have to lift your legs very high off the ground to still get that little flex in the side here. $15. Great job. Now we're going to transition onto our back, and we are going to do alternating heel taps. So what that means, and we will not stay here very long in this position. We should be okay. The baby's still not super big at 19 weeks. So we're going to be in our glute bridge position. We are going to bridge up, and we are going to alternate lifting the leg up. Start with 5 to 10 on each side and progress from there as long as you can keep your hips up and you feel this in your glutes and not your back. We're doing 15 on each side, 30 total, 30. Nice job. Bring your back down nice and slow. Good. Now from right here, we're going to do alternating heel taps with the pelvis on the ground now. So we're going to bring both feet up in the air instead of our hips this time. And now we're going to alternate bringing one heel down at a time. Keeping our legs bent to 90 degrees, and we're just moving from the hips. I hear all my bones moving. Remember, your hips are going to spread out. Weight gain is normal. A woman's body is meant to shift and move to make room for that baby. If it's easier for your hips to keep your knees a little wider than hip width, then do that. Like, I don't hear any bones popping or cracking now that my knees are wider. I lost count, so I'm going to do 5 more here. But if this feels okay, you'll do 15 on each side. And one more. Great job. Let's bring the feet down. We're going to roll to one side, and we're going to push ourselves up. You guys did a great job on your core strengthening exercises. Keep that up each week, and I promise you your delivery will go a lot smoother. Make sure you don't injure yourself. Take it easy, ease into it, see how you feel. Drink a lot of water, and follow me for a stretch routine right after. Amber with Healthymale.